This time I'd like to present Eugene Mortoroff, our National Senior Vice Commander, Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War, and Colonel. I'll start with you.
Thank you, Stuart.
We'll be here for a while.
I'm running for Commander-in-Chief, so I'm looking for all the votes I can get. So I'm a politician today, too. Commander Woodcock, where do you go? Thank you very much. For me, this is really a family reunion. I belong to 3 camps. The Meade camp, which I have another member over there, and of course the Antietam camp and Gettysburg Blues, or a member of the Gettysburg camp, and I've got all those bases covered. But it's the other people I've known through the years in the Department of the Chesapeake and the National Friends who've come. Mark Day, where's Mark? I mean, Mark comes up from Virginia for just about everything. He's all over. But Mark Day is also the commander of the 2nd Military District, which covers everything from New York the whole way down to the tippy bottom of Virginia, right?
That's right.
You don't have the Carolinas.
That's right. These gentlemen that are your color guard are my gentlemen.
Absolutely, absolutely. They didn't come loaded today, did they?
Are you giving me a chance to speak?
We don't have that kind of time. Well, anyway, I also want to say, a welcome to. I know at least there's two members of the Confederate Sons that are here, and I want to say hi to them. I know that we have just wonderful that we can be here, and it's always exciting for me to come to a Civil War battlefield. Our friend from the Department of Veterans Affairs indicated that this was the highest casualties, deaths in the Civil War. It was the single bloodiest. We lost more lives here on this hallowed ground than any other battle in the history of our country. World War I, World War II, all of those. Iwo Jima, all of those. We lost more people here in one day than any other place. So I want you to think about that when you're walking around and you realize these literally were blood-stained fields here. My great-great-grandfather fought on the Bloody Lane. He was in French's brigade in 130th Pennsylvania and got shot in the Bloody Lane. Managed to drag himself down to Fredericksburg, where he was, again, French's brigade was right there at the wall. I mean, that's the type of stuff that are, we need to remember these people for what they did for us. Like I said, most people who visit Sharpsville, walk these fields, do make some personal connections with the soldiers who spilled their blood here under their feet. What a privilege it is for us to be here today. I bring you greetings from the Commander-in-Chief of the Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War. It's Ted Campbell, and he is our man. I tell you what, I wish you all would have a chance in your lives to meet someone like this. He's going to be passing that baton over here come August, and it's going to be one heck of a set of shoes to fill. The Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War are the legal heirs to the Grand Army of the Republic, another organization that in this country at one point, for a number of years in our country, was politically a powerhouse. These are the people who fought in the Civil War and afterwards took care of the people who needed help the most. Now we have the Veterans Affairs who handles things like that. But back then they didn't have any of those national organizations. So the members who fought the war got together and they took care of the indigent. They took care of the children who were orphaned as a result of the war, of the widows. Think about how many people whose lives were absolutely torn upside down. And the actual soldiers themselves. It wasn't some government that come and running to take care of the program, take care of it. It was the soldiers themselves, the Grand Army of the Republic. The Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War are so proud that we are the legal heirs of that organization. GAR was actually started really, really close to Lincoln's home in Illinois. I always thought that was pretty cool also. Benjamin Stevenson. This fraternity helped them deal. Second page. What they went through. We call it post-traumatic syndromes now, but but they had the same things back then. But, war's war. People don't change. It's the same things that they go through. Their charity provided shelter for the families who lost their homes. Just imagine how many houses and businesses were burnt to the ground. We talk about burning of it, but we don't talk a whole lot about the families who lost their livelihoods. They provided for the great number of orphans, and for their loyalty resulted in special projects that may keep our nation from ever going through such a tempest again in the future. One of the most important that the Grand Army of the Republic was Decoration Day, what we call that now Memorial Day. It's the one time during the year that we should always set aside and remember. Nowadays we remember everyone who fought in our nation's battles, but back then it was especially for the soldiers of the American Civil War. It may be hard for you to believe this, but there are still a handful of real sons of Union veterans of the Civil War. You could count them on one hand. These are people who are actually sons of Civil War soldiers. And you say, well, how could that possibly be? We're talking, the war ended in 1865. How could we possibly have a son of a soldier who fought then? Well, of course, what happens is, these gentlemen went to war early. I mean, we can't even imagine nowadays of a 13-year-old child fighting in a war. So you get someone who started young, and he grows up, and he's 90, 95, 100 years old. Some of these people. And then they decide they're getting a pension. It doesn't take long to figure out. I mean, there's an abuse of government, just like today. There was back then, too. So what happens is they marry some 13-year-old, 14-year-old girl or older. And now that person you see what I'm saying? And then they have a baby. I give that guy a lot of credit. But these were guys are pretty tough. And then they have a baby, and then that baby, and then these babies, and then we have some that are very old now. We're losing, you're not going to have any, real son. And for the ladies, there's quite a few more. There's more, a considerable more daughters of Union veterans of the Civil War than there are, and what a great organization they are too. But real daughters, they have, we keep track of it. We actually have a pretty good track of all of the real sons and real daughters that are still, I'm sure there's some that we missed, but we do keep track of those things. One of the reasons that we exist, we are taking part in today, is to keep alive the memory of the Union soldiers and what they did to save our Union. The Sons of Confederate Veterans also with us here today. They do similar things to keep alive the ancestors that also gave their all for what they believed was right. Probably most of the Medal of Honor winners we are honoring today didn't think they did anything over and above what their brothers fighting next to them did. But the people that they loved, the people they knew, and the people who benefited from their system honored them. And for us to come together here to honor these soldiers is a privilege that I hope that you all will contemplate and remember. Today we learn a little bit about a few soldiers who fought side by side with other soldiers just like them in a maelstrom of blood and ultimate sacrifice. They received the Medal of Honor because their service went above and beyond that which would normally be expected. Thank you very much.
present from the Frederick County delegation, official citation, be hereby known as sincerest congratulations are offered to the sons of the Union veterans of the Civil War in recognition of their 7th annual Union Civil War Soldier National Medal of Honor event. This was presented the 25th day of March by